New boots. How the hell do you break them in? Let's check it out. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out to tune in and check the videos out. Right, today's video is all about new boots. How do you break in new boots, or what's the best way of doing it? Well, my way anyway. That's what it's all about today. So I don't blame you if you want to check something else out, but this video is all about boots and how you break them in.
It's just not for me.
Now, your boots, one of the most important parts of your kit, in my opinion anyway. Whether you're just into outdoor pursuits, you're into bushcraft, you're into survivalism, whatever you're into, you're on your feet just about all day, aren't you? So you're going to make sure you've got a good, decent pair of boots or footwear that are built for the job. So I've recently purchased their Jackery, I don't know what they're called. But a fantastic pair of boots. These are brand new. All weather boots. I think they're classed as a cold weather boot, so ideal for winter time. And now it's just turned September, so I thought brilliant time now to get these broken in, ready for the winter. But I need to break them in before I do any serious walking on them. So a few different ways, like I said. Now the first way is a bit of a cheat method, a bit of a speedy way to breaking your boots in. Now I done this years and years ago with my Army Issue Combat Highs, and that's submerging your boots in hot water.
That sounds ridiculous.
Up for about 30 minutes or so, and then what that does is softens up the leather, and then you put your boots on, put a couple of pairs of socks on it, and then walk around in your boots for a good few hours. The idea being that, yeah, the leather's going to be a bit softer, it's be more malleable, I think that's the word, isn't it? So as you're walking around, your boot's going to soften and mould to your feet. And as it dries, it should keep its shape. That's the idea of that.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm not going to do it today. Obviously, I don't get my feet wet. You're limited the way you can go in it. You can walk around the house or something if you're allowed to have wet boots on in the house. Probably not. And wait for them to dry a little bit. So another method, which is like the long way of doing it, probably the best way of doing it, and that's gradually breaking in your boots. So what do I mean by that? So get your new boots on, use a thick pair of socks, and just wear them for everyday use. So just spend a couple of days just wearing them, doing your everyday tasks. If you're allowed, obviously wear them in the house when you're doing your house jobs. Then after a couple of days doing that, you can take them for a longer walk. So you're taking a dog for a walk, or you're walking around the block, walking down the shops, wear your boots and just do a few more days doing that, do longer walks. And just gradually do longer and longer walks until you're ready and you're happy that the boots are broken in, and then you're doing your hike. The last thing you want to do is do your hike, especially if you're carrying weight, too fast, too soon. And if your boots aren't broken in properly, you can have terrible blisters. Well, if you're unlucky, that is. Doesn't always happen. If your boots are really well fitting, then you're not going to get blisters. And so that's the second way of doing it. Probably the most preferred choice is if you've got time, that isn't it? Is to gradually break in your boots, doing short walks, like say doing everyday Monday things in your boots, and then building up, doing longer walks, and then going up to perhaps walks with inclines, doing downhill walks, and then before you know it, after a few weeks, your boots are broken in. Another way, this is the way I'm going to do it today, and that's just to put them on and go for it. So what I'm going to do is put a couple of pairs of socks on. I'm going to put a thick pair, and I'm going to put a thin pair underneath, which should hopefully stop me getting blisters. The thick pair of socks, that just helps stretch the boot a little as you're wearing it. And like I said, I'm just going to put them on and then go for a walk up the mountains. You might think, oh, you idiot, you're going to get terrible blisters. Well, I got obviously precautions for that, for blisters, and I'll carry these in my bag as well, so if my feet do start getting real bad, obviously I can just take the boots off, put these on, and carry on my walk or walk home. But I'm pretty confident. I have been wearing these for a good few hours now today, so I'm pretty confident I'll be alright. But if you are going out, obviously, and you do feel a hot spot coming on your foot, address it straight away. I got plenty of zinc oxide tape in my bag, I got plenty of blister plasters and all that sort of good stuff, so I'm pretty confident that I should be alright. I just haven't got no patience to just gradually walk them in. I want to get on the hills and test them out.
You are nuts!
I'm not going to do a review video on these today. Obviously, I need to wear these for a good few months in all conditions, really, to do an honest review. But today is just about breaking in the boots. Then later on in the video, when we come back, we'll obviously see how we get on, isn't it, with the walk. Then I'll show you how you clean and care for your boots while they're in storage. So, not very interested, I know. Boots. How can you make an interesting video about boots, isn't it? But if you want to stick along, join me on the video. We'll go for a walk, like I said. But if I won't be too downhearted if you wanted to turn off and watch something else. So let's go for it. Let's get these boots on and get up the hills and see how we get on. Catch you in a bit. Let's go. Right, we're on the road, first section. Straight away when I put these boots on, I noticed they're extremely comfortable, really comfy. Probably because they're a brand new boot, aren't they? But really soft. And yeah, first impressions, really good. We're just gonna push up here for well, to the top of the hill anyway, up to the church, and I'll catch you back. See you in a bit. So here we are at the church, stunning views here, and there's a nice little climb up the hill to get to the church. I did notice my one boot, left boot, a little bit slack. I've got a little bit of movement in the foot, so I'm just going to retighten the laces. Right, that's better. That boot bit tighter, less movement there. My left foot, so with less movement, less chance again, blisters. Right, let's push on. So as we come around the corner from the church, we get the first glimpse of the hill we're going to walk up. It's just up there. Here's a better view of the hill. So we'll walk straight up there. There's a farm, or you can't quite see it now, but there's a farm there we're going to go up the side of. And then just walk up the side of the hill to the top. Looks pretty daunting from here, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's a steady climb, a nice steady climb. Right, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes into the walk. Boots feel good so far. Slightly warm. Typical, isn't it? Went to try these new winter boots out and it's a bloody boiling sunny hot day. Never mind. So we're at the base of the hill, as you can tell with the panting of the breath. But it's a good steady climb now, all the way to the top. We're going way up there. So I won't film this bit. You don't want to see me panting. So I'll catch you again when we get to the top. I'm sure we will get to the top. Right, let's go for it. What a climb, but it pays, doesn't it? Look at the view. This hill. My boots are squeaking like a Yorkshireman's wallet, but they're doing great. no pain, no rubbing, no hot spots. Famous last words, I know, probably jinxed it now. But yeah, what a fantastic day for a walk. Right, we made it to the pool, Pantling pool. I'm going to have a bit of a drink, take my boots off, check my feet over, and then we're going to push on to the trig point. I'll catch you in a bit. Right, here we are, rest done. Check my feet over, absolutely fine, just a bit hot and sweaty. But yeah, really good. No blisters, no hot spots. Really pleased with that, you know, for a brand new pair of boots. Right, take my glasses off. Right, next stage is to get to the trig point, find that, and then it's downhill, test the boots out, going downhill then all the way home. Right, let's get on with it. Yeah, at the trig point, Bank of Kelling. From here, I've got fantastic, you know, 360-degree views. You can see all the Brecon Beacons National Park, the Black Mountains, the Beacons, and the Black Mountain down there. You've got the Cambria Mountains this way. You've got the Epping Ranges over there. You've got Radnor Forest down there, and all the hills of Mid Wales. Right, trig point done. It's clouded over a bit. It's a bit windy, so I'm going to get home now. So it was a downhill trek all the way, more or less. So it'll be another good test for the boots. So join me when we get back down to the bottom of the hills, back at HQ, and we'll talk about the boots. How exciting. Right, here's a ford. There's a good opportunity to test the boots, waterproof wise. I'm probably about an hour from home now. I don't want to test them out too soon, and of course I have wet feet walking home, so if I do get wet feet, it's only about an hour. Let's go for it. Let's walk across this brook and test out the boots, see if they're waterproof. Yeah, good. Well, so far anyway. Right, we're on the last stretch now. Let's get home. Well, there we are. We're back at the HQ, just about. No trouble with the feet as such. A little bit of niggly bits. I did have to address a little bit of a hot spot on my left heel just after I tested the boots in the water, but yeah, I addressed that. I put a blister plaster on it. It hasn't come to a blister, I think. I put some zinc oxide tape on it, and no trouble since. So yeah, really pleased with the boots, but I'll have a better look at it when we get up to the house, and then I'll show you how I clean my boots and put them away for storage. I know it's very exciting, isn't it? But yeah, let's check that out. Right, we're back at HQ, and I've got the boots off. Just a quick recap of the boots. Very impressed. Yeah, a bit hot today for this type of boot, but yeah, really impressed. Really comfy. No real major issues. So all I can say really, I'm really looking forward to testing these out in all sorts of weather conditions and all sorts of terrain. So if you want your walking boots or your military boots, your leather boots to last you a long time, then it pays well to look after them. And part of that is to maintain them and keep them clean and store them correctly. So that's what we're going to do now. So the boots, these ones, they've been on a maiden voyage, haven't they? So they're not that bad, they're not that dirty. But the first thing to do is to clean them. So what we'll do first is take the laces out. Just like so. Once you've got the laces out, take the insoles out. Now if these are a little bit damp and it's a nice sunny day, leave these out in the sun to dry out. The sunlight is also good at killing off any bacteria and all that sort of crap. So yeah, leave these out to dry. So once you've got your insoles and your laces out, the next stage is to take these over to a sink full of warm soapy water and give them a good clean. Just like this. So what you want is just some warm water, slightly soapy. Don't put too much detergent in it. And then just obviously just get all the mud off. Get all the crap off. Now if you have got creases in your boots, just make sure you go along with the creases. That way you won't get any trapped dirt or grit left in the creases of your boots. Make sure you get all the nooks and crannies. Now this is the utility area, but if you haven't got a utility sink, I'd ask the wife's permission first before going to the kitchen sink, or if that's out of the question, obviously get a bucket of water and do it outside. So making sure you clean out all these joins so there's no trapped dirt in them or grit. Then do the soles. Again, clean all out. You don't have to be as careful with this as the leather, because the insoles, it depends how fussy you want to be. There we are. Now if you have got any soapy residue left on your boots, just rinse it off with a bit of cold water. And if your laces are dirty as well, chuck them in the water and give them a good clean. Right, the next step is to get as much of the water off your boots as possible. Just use an old towel or paper towels, rags, whatever you got. When that's done, you've got to leave them to dry. Leave your boots and your laces somewhere to dry. If you want to speed up the drying process of your boots, chuck some newspaper rolled up inside. That will draw any moisture out. But whatever you do, don't put these underneath a radiator or next to a heating pipes, because if it gets too hot, too fast, then the leather can crack. So you're better off just putting some paper in the boots, like I said, and just let these naturally air dry. Right, boots are nice and dry, clean. The next thing now is to put some polish on. So the polish is there not just to make it look nice and smart, obviously, but it's to prolong the life of the leather. It's to keep the leather nice and supple, so when it flexes it's not going to split. Plus, as well as that, it helps keep the leather nice and waterproof. So, polish, loads of different polish on the market. You could look at the boots and what they recommend, but yeah, any sort of boot polish. But I'm going to use kiwi. I like kiwi. Or the smell of that takes me back to hours and hours and hours of polishing and bullying your boots. Love the smell of polish. So your brushes, you have an on brush and an off brush. Now your on brush, just like the name suggests, is for putting the polish on the boots. So just get a bit of polish on the tin, on your brush, and rub it in. Again, make sure you get in all the crevices, all the nooks and crannies, all inside the tongue. A bit more polish. So you just want a nice thin layer of polish all the way over the boot. These softer parts of the boot, these cushion bits, you don't want to polish them. Just stick to the leather. And obviously you don't want to go all over the sole. But what you want to do is make sure these joins between the sole and the leatherwork and all the stitching, make sure that's well covered. Because obviously that's the place where water could get in. So once you're happy with that, you've got your polish all over your boot. Or both boots. We're going to leave them to dry for about 5 minutes. Then we'll come back and give them a good polish. Now we've had our polish on now and we've let it set and dry for a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes. Now it's time to get your off brush, or polishing brush, and give the boots a good polishing. So good wrist action is what you want for this, good fast wrist action. Some of you know how to do that. Look at the shine coming on that now. Again, just as before when you're putting the polish on, getting all the nooks and crannies, all the joints. and buff it up. Make sure you're getting all the lace attachments, get all the polish off them. You don't want polish all over your bloody laces. There we have it, a nice clean polished boot. Now you've got your boots nice and clean, nice and polished. Next thing, put the laces back in. Now there's loads of different ways you can lace your boots up. You do whatever takes your fancy. So once you've got your boots all laced up, they're nice, clean, tidy, polished. Next I get my insoles, I just stick them in the boot, just loosely like that. That just lets a bit of air get to them. Boots, used, cleaned, polished, ready to go for next time. So there we are guys, here's the video. A fascinating video I know about breaking in your boots and cleaning them and how you store them. But yeah, it's well worth a video I think talking about boots because like I said before, they're on your feet all day, aren't they, if you're out and about. And you look after your boots and the boots will look after you. So that's it. If you do like the videos, please think about liking, subscribing, hit the notification bell. And if you do want to see some more videos, check that one out and that one. And I'll catch you again next time. All the best.